Attorney General Ken Paxton's historic impeachment trial now underway. This after losing a vote for the charges against him to be dismissed. In court today, Paxton denied he used his office to punish his enemies and enrich himself in the process. Eric Hernandez in Texas State Senate chambers as 31 lawmakers serve as the jury of his peers.
The motion is denied.
Texas senators this morning overwhelmingly voting against the dismissal of any of the articles of impeachment that Attorney General Ken Paxton is facing. More than a dozen motions were filed this morning and all were denied. The Texas House in May voted to have Paxton impeached after 20 articles of misconduct were brought against him. With Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick presiding, opening statements began after lunch.
Mr. Paxton has been entrusted with great power. Unfortunately, rather than rise to the occasion, he has revealed his true character. And as the overwhelming evidence will show, he is not fit to be the Attorney General for the state of Texas.
House Manager Republican Representative Andrew Murr delivered opening remarks and highlighted what he says are shocking facts in their case.
How far would Mr. Paxton have gone in using the power of the Attorney General's office to harass and punish his and Nate Paul's perceived enemies and hurt innocent Texans?
In response, Paxton's attorney Tony Busby says all the allegations are false.
When we are done, I believe that no matter your party affiliation and no matter where you stand now, you will conclude what I have concluded, that there is nothing to this. This whole case is a whole lot of nothing.
Now, while Paxton was present this morning, he was not present this afternoon. In fact, he does not have to be present for the entire trial, and he will not have to testify. Now, coming up at 6, we'll have more on this impeachment trial, including who the first witness was to take the stand. Reporting live in Austin, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
It is being called a case with great significance for the state of Texas. The Ken Paxton impeachment trial has just wrapped up its first day. A lot took place today, including the first witness to take the stand. Erica Hernandez takes us inside the state capitol for a closer look at this high-stakes political trial.
One side is saying that shocking facts will show that Attorney General Ken Paxton abused his power, while the other side is saying all those facts are completely false. The state's 30 senators were sworn in and will be the ones to make the decision on 16 articles of impeachment after both the prosecution and defense put on 24 hours of testimony and evidence. With Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick presiding, the trial began after senators denied to dismiss the impeachment articles during pre-trial motions. During opening statements, both sides threw jabs at each other.
This whole case is a whole lot of nothing. What happens here will have consequences no matter how it turns out.
Mr. Paxton has been entrusted with great power. Unfortunately, rather than rise to the occasion, he has revealed his true character. And as the overwhelming evidence will show, he is not fit to be the Attorney General for the state of Texas.
The first witness to take the stand for the prosecution, Jeff Mateer, Paxton's former second-in-command, who would later accuse Paxton of committing crimes. In order for Paxton to be impeached and removed from office, 21 senators have to vote to sustain an article of impeachment. Overall, a pretty calm day today with everything running pretty much smoothly. Now, the trial will resume tomorrow morning and is expected to last into next week. In Austin, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.